Welcome back to Mevi Explained. Last time we liquidated a loan for a flat bonus. Today, a smarter, fairer version that MakerDAO built after a market crash nearly broke it. Liquidations run as a falling price auction. When a vault goes bad, its collateral is put up for sale at a price that starts high and ticks down every second. And bots, called keepers, wait for the exact moment it dips below the real value, then pounce. Their profit is what pays off the bad loan and keeps the whole system solvent. We'll build it and take the bargain ourselves. Let's go. First, a Maker Vault, which is just a loan. You lock up Ether as collateral, and against it you borrow Maker's dollar stablecoin, DAI. Maker insists on a big safety cushion. Your collateral must always be worth at least 150% of what you borrowed. So to borrow $100,000, you need at least 150,000 of Ether locked up. That cushion protects the system if prices move. But if Ether falls far enough, your collateral slips under that line and the vault becomes unsafe. Once that happens, anyone is allowed to step in and liquidate it. Why a falling price auction and not a normal one? Because a normal one failed badly. On Black Thursday in March 2020, Ether crashed about 50% in a single day. Maker's old system used English auctions, where bidders bid the price up, but the network was so congested that some auctions received a single $0 bid and handed over collateral for nothing. Maker lost millions, so they rebuilt it as Liquidations 2.0-ish using a Dutch auction where the price instead starts high and falls. There's no bidding war to jam, no gas auction to win. Keepers simply watch the price drop and by the instant it becomes a bargain. That's what we're building. Here is the whole thing on one screen. A vault has 100 Ether locked up, backing 100,000 DAI of debt. Ether is worth 2,000 at first, so the collateral is worth 200,000, well above the 150,000 cushion it must keep. Then Ether falls to 1,400. Now the collateral is worth only 140,000 below the line, so the vault is unsafe. Anyone calls Dog.bark, which seizes the 100 Ether and opens a clipper auction, paying the caller a small tip for triggering it. The auction opens at 1,680, 20% above the real market price, and the price falls every second. Keepers watch, but they wait, because buying now would mean overpaying and the auction rejects any bid above your limit. At 20 minutes in, the price has decayed to 1120. A keeper takes the whole 100 Ether for 112,000 Ether that's really worth 140,000. That's a $28,000 profit for showing up at the right moment. And that DAI instantly repays the bad loan, so Maker stays solvent, and even banks a small surplus. Keeper self-interest, not a bailout, keeps the system whole. Let's build it in Foundry using Maker's own names. So this teaches the real system. There's a VAT, the core ledger of vaults, a spotter that sets the price, a dog that triggers liquidations, a clipper that runs the falling price auction, and an abacus, the little contract that computes exactly how the price decays. Everything runs locally with no real money. Here's the skeleton of the three pieces that matter. First, the price curve, a linear decrease that will slide the price from its start down to zero over a set number of seconds. Second, the dog, with a bark function that will seize an unsafe vault and open its auction. And third, the clipper, with a take function, the one a keeper calls to buy the collateral at whatever the price has fallen to. The bodies are empty for now, let's fill them in, one at a time. First, the falling price. The formula is dead simple. The price after some seconds have passed is the starting price times how much of the auction's lifetime is left. At the start, the whole lifetime is left, so you're at the top price. Halfway through, you're at half. Once the time is up, it's zero. A straight line down. Now the bark, anyone can call it, but only on an unsafe vault, so the very first thing it does is check that the collateral's value has fallen below the required cushion. If it has, it seizes the collateral and kicks off a clipper auction, setting the starting price above the market price on purpose, so the price has room to fall before it becomes a real deal. Here's take the keeper's move, the heart of it. First it asks the abacus for the price right now based on how many seconds have passed since the auction opened. Then the crucial guard, it requires that price to be at or below the maximum the keeper is willing to pay. This is what makes waiting the whole strategy. Buy too early while the price is still above your limit and the transaction simply reverts. But once the price has fallen far enough, the keeper pays that many dollars, receives the collateral, and if the collateral is worth more than they paid, the difference is their profit. Here is the test that runs the whole play. We open a vault with 100 Ether backing 100,000 DAI, then drop Ether's price to 1400, which pushes the vault underwater. We bark it, opening the auction at 1680. Then we do the key thing. We try to take immediately and check that it reverts because the price is still above market, too expensive. Then we let time pass, 20 minutes, so the price decays to 1120 and we take it. At the end, we check the keeper's profit. Let's run it and read the real numbers. Run it and watch the numbers. The vault's collateral at 1400 in Ether is worth 140,000 below the 150,000 line, so it's unsafe. The auction opens at 1680. Taking at time 0 is rejected. 1680 is above the market. The keeper won't overpay. 20 minutes later, the price has decayed to 1120 and the take goes through. The keeper buys 100 Ether for 112,000 AI. Collateral really worth 140,000. That's a $28,000 profit and Maker's books come out with a surplus. Green means the whole auction played out exactly as designed. One more thing, because a passing test on a local lab can feel like a sandbox. To prove it's real, I deployed the same Maker pieces, the VAT, the Dog, the Clipper to Sepolia, a public Ethereum testnet, through my own Chainstack node. And here time is real, I can't fast forward it. So I actually opened an unsafe vault, barked it to start the auction, then waited for the price to genuinely fall, and took it once it dipped below market. Every step is a permanent public transaction. Let's read them. Here it is on Sepolia's Etherscan, the whole auction on a public chain. First, bark. This transaction seizes the unsafe vault and opens the Clipper auction, with the price starting above market. Then the key idea, on a real chain where time actually passes, I read the auction's current price twice. Right after it opens, the price is still high above the market, so a keeper who bought now would overpay and the take would revert. So we wait and read it again, and the price has fallen below the market value of the collateral. Now it's a bargain, and finally, take. This transaction is the keeper buying the collateral at the decayed price, paying the DAI, receiving the Ether, and walking away with the difference as profit, the same profit that repays the bad loan. Bark, wait for the price to fall, take every number readable on a public chain you can open yourself. Quick recap. When a Maker vault goes unsafe, anyone can bark it, and its collateral goes into a Dutch auction. The price starts above the market and falls, second by second. Keepers watch and wait, because buying too early just reverts the prices above what they'll pay. The moment it dips below the collateral's real value, a keeper takes it, pays the discounted price, and pockets the difference. And that payment is exactly what clears the bad loan. No committee, no bailout, just a falling price and a keeper's self-interest keeping the whole protocol solvent. A quick note, rebuilding these strategies safely and explaining them line by line takes real work. If it helps you, the wallets are on screen and there's a Ko-fi link below. Every tip funds the next breakdown. Thank you. That's Maker's Liquidations 2.0, a falling price auction that pays keepers to clear bad debt. The system Maker built after a crash nearly broke the old one. You've seen exactly how the price decays, why keepers wait, and how their profit is what keeps the protocol solvent. Next episode, we'll rebuild and explain another MEV strategy from the ground up. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Tell me in the comments which MEV topic to break down next, and I'll see you there.